Good afternoon everyone, happy Sunday and happy weekend. I'm here doing another little bit of a Tenerife news update for you all, because there is still more news to run through, things constantly changing. A lot of people messaging me, emailing me about the rates with COVID. Should they cancel? What should they do? So I'm going to run through all the latest information for you now, give you a few of my opinions as well. You know, should you look at cancelling, should you still be coming, etc. I'm going to run through all of that, including the latest figures, which have gone up a little bit. If you are new to the channel, I am Andrew and I live here permanently. I've been here for 7 years and I do these little weekly news updates every week, so do subscribe to the channel. And we've got various other Tenerife videos, live streams, etc. So do check that out. I'm going to start off where we always do with the COVID rates. Everyone asking me about them, sending me screenshots. They have flown up again. Today's update from the Ministry of Health confirms that 1,687 new cases of coronavirus have been detected in the last 24 hours, with only 108 people medically discharged and 2 more deaths, meaning there are now 12,830 active cases in the islands. That is really high. 266 COVID patients in hospital, 57 of which are in ICU, and 12,507 are at home in isolation. So thankfully the number's not too bad in the hospitals, but bear in mind here in Tenerife, the hospitals can't cope with huge amounts. They're not massive hospitals, so that is the big fear, that the hospitals do become overcrowded, overrun, overstretched. Tenerife is now the most affected island in almost all statistics, which is a shame. It's got the most new cases with 1,163. It's got the most active cases with 7,110. The municipal, Santa Cruz, has the most, 3,285. It's got the most deaths with 613 in total. Highest 7-day incidence rate of 532.95, and the highest 14-day incidence rate of 650.33. The only area that Tenerife is not currently highest is in the hospital pressure. Gran Canaria has the highest rating of 90% and 85% pressure in its 2 main hospitals. So that is the big concern, is the hospitals becoming overrun with all these cases. So this is as of Saturday the 13th or 18th of December, sorry. The new cases for Gran Canaria, 325, 83 in Fuerteventura, Lanzarote 82, La Palma 30, El Hierro 4 and La Gomera none. And I'm going to go through now the total active cases per island. As I mentioned, Tenerife over 7,000 active cases, that is high. Gran Canaria 3,938, so we've basically got double what Gran Canaria's got here in Tenerife. Fuerteventura 1,148, Lanzarote 430, La Palma 157, La Gomera 30 and El Hierro 17. So we are still seeing the cases rise. I do think we could well go into level 4 next week. This is not me trying to scaremonger you or put you off at all, because I'm going to run through the reasons why you should still be coming to Tenerife in a moment. But this is just the reality, this is the information, and that is my opinion. I'm no expert or anything like that, but judging off these figures, I do think we could well go into level 4 next week. Will that be absolutely drastically devastating? No, not really. The main thing it's going to do is reduce the capacity of the bars and restaurants again, which doesn't really affect too much. You can still have a great time, go to those bars and restaurants. You're just maybe going to have to make a reservation or change things around, eat a bit earlier or something like that. But it's not going to stop your flights coming in or anything like that. It's just going to hopefully bring those case numbers down. Another article here, staying on the same lines of COVID, 48% of companies would welcome the mandatory requirement of employees to be vaccinated. This is a survey done on the whole of Spain. 48% of companies in Spain are in favour of implementing some kind of mandatory requirement of their employees to be fully vaccinated. 29% would like to encourage their staff to get inoculated, whereas only 14% say they prefer to leave it to the discretion of the employees. So that's a bit of a conversation starter. What do you think of that? Personally, I've not put any pressure or anything like that on my staff for my company, but they are fully vaccinated, but that was completely up to them whether they chose to do that or not. So that's, again, a bit of a conversation starter. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. As I said, I'm no expert. This is just opinions, so do let me know your thoughts in the comments. It's a bit of a conversation starter and a bit of an interest for you guys. It will be interesting to see. They've plainly done this survey across Spain, and the majority would prefer all of their staff to be vaccinated. Another article here just to run through. Now, I'm trying to stay as still as possible. A lot of people said, I love your videos, but you're moving around, knocking me sick. So I'm trying to stay as still as I can here, but I'm on a load of cobbles, so I'm trying to stay still, because even my mum said, you're making me seasick, so I'm doing my best to stay still here. The increase to 10 diners at Christmas will only be for vaccinated people. So they have announced that for Christmas dinners, you are going to be able to have a table of 10. That is only temporary, and it is only for vaccinated people. The president of the Canary Islands has clarified today that the proposal to increase the maximum number of diners in their COVID alert level 3, which is what we're in now, on Christmas and New Year, will only be among vaccinated people, since the objective is to continue promoting vaccinations and ensuring that gatherings are as safe as possible. So do watch out for that if you are planning a Christmas dinner or meeting up with friends. At the moment, it's a maximum of 4 at a table. If you are vaccinated though, you may be able to have a table of 10, but check with the restaurants, make sure you get reserved and booked in nice and early, because it probably will be quite busy. Moving on, see, there's always news to be running through here, especially when it does get quite chaotic like this. AS Hotel warns that Spain's restrictions are destructing tourism in the Canaries. Hoteliers Association of Tenerife, La Palma, La Gomera and El Hierro have warned that the central government of Spain, that the restrictions are being implied on the islands is having a big effect on tourism, people booking their holidays. So far, there's been 40% of holidays cancelled in Tenerife, and major airlines and tour operators are feeling the pain of only vaccinated people being allowed to travel and enter into the country. Now I'm going to quickly discuss that. In my opinion, I think the tests should be brought back in for people travelling, and maybe remove the need to be vaccinated, or change the need to be vaccinated but for over 18s only. That's in my opinion. When I flew back from Orlando last week and I flew back into Manchester, I felt far more safe. I felt far better that everyone on that flight had tested negative. Whereas coming back to here, Liverpool to Tenerife, no one had to do any tests. You just had to show you were vaccinated, but that was it. I do think they should bring that back in my opinion, and maybe change the limits of needing to be vaccinated. So many people, so many families have cancelled due to their kids not being fully vaccinated yet, over 12s needing to be vaccinated. It's just in my opinion, you should be able to travel with a negative test. But let me know your thoughts on that as well. I noticed that Germany have done the same. You need to travel with a test if you're from the UK. And also France have done the same as well. You need to travel with a test. So will we see a change here? Will they bring that in? We'll see. Let me know your thoughts. In my opinion, they should change it, and it should be tests to come in, whether you're vaccinated or not, or change the limit on who should be vaccinated to travel. Because even if you're vaccinated, you can still bring it in, you can still test positive, etc. We're going into a whole realm of possibilities there and opinions. But yeah, comment below. It is always interesting to read what you think of that. I know a lot of people agreed with me. I had a post in my KnightStrider fan group yesterday with someone commented something similar. What do you think will happen in February? And I just put, in my opinion, they should bring in the testing again for people travelling in. Show that you're negative, show you've got that negative test. But that is just my opinion. And another article here, fury over chaos and unacceptable scenes at Spain's major holiday airports. Tourism leaders in Spain are calling on the government to take urgent action over massive queues and delays at the country's main airports, which they say are putting holiday makers off. So we have seen quite big queues at Tenerife South Airport in the last few months. Not really, the last couple of weeks have not been too bad apart from your main peak changeover days. I know yesterday, Saturday, was mad busy. But yeah, talking about Madrid, Barcelona, La Palma, Mallorca, Ibiza, Tenerife South and Alicante, unacceptable queues and waits is what they're talking about. They want the government to take a bit of action there. The congestion at airports is a great deterrent to passengers, both national and international, in the form of delays, loss of flights, loss of connections, and the added difficulty to the operation of airlines, already complex due to the pandemic. So calls there for some changes to the airports, hopefully less queues, things like that. When I travelled through it a few weeks ago, it wasn't bad, it wasn't great. They did have us waiting in a bit of a congested line down the stairs to board the plane, which was a bit uncomfortable. There was no airflow. But other than that, it wasn't too bad. I think it does depend on what day you're travelling. As I said yesterday, the police were there, the drop zone was closed, the car park was basically full. It was bedlam. Saturday seems to be the day of travel at the moment. So interesting to see if they do make any changes there with that one. Now I'm just going to quickly run through, as I mentioned in the last update, we are now in level 3. I'm going to quickly run through again and remind everyone what that means and what restrictions are in place. So if you are indoors or you're moving around a shop or a restaurant, you have to have a mask on if you're not seated and you're not eating and drinking. If you are moving around, you go on the toilet or something like that, you have to put a mask on. Bars and restaurants can stay open until 2 AM if their license allows it. Karaoke, cocktail bars and disco bars are open, but dancing is still prohibited. Outdoor capacity for bars and restaurants is restricted to 50% and no more than 6 per table outside. Indoor capacity for bars, restaurants and cafes is restricted further down to 33% and no more than 4 per table and no more than 2 sat at the bar. Beaches are restricted to 50% capacity and a maximum of 4 per group. I was down on Los Cristianos beach yesterday, Saturday, peak day, and I couldn't see anyone struggling to get on the beach or anything like that. There was plenty of sunbeds and space around. Guided tours, 20 per group. And your jacuzzis, spas, gyms, cinemas, they are all reduced further. Shops are restricted to 25% capacity, so you may find at peak times some of the shops you might have to wait outside in a bit of a line. Your gyms 33% and spas 33% as well. And your public transport, your buses, etc. reduced to 50%, and masks must be worn at all times. You won't be able to get on the bus or the tram, etc. without a mask, so bring plenty of them with you. Also, your little mini hand sanitizers, bring plenty of them as well. Always handy to have. Sometimes people run out, or you know, some of them aren't that nice, are they? You might bring your own nice smelling ones. I bought a couple from America that smell lovely. I was sick of smelling the ones that smell a bit like beef. And that is basically the latest news run through. I did get loads of emails and messages yesterday, so I do want to try and keep you as updated as we can. As for here, weather's been a bit mixed. It did rain last night, but we're getting a bit of sunshine poking through now. Everything is normal. There's no mass panic. There's no more rumours of lockdowns and things. No one's really talking about it. Flights are operating as normal. You can come in and go, no problems at all. All you've got to do is show your double vaccination and your Spanish QR code, which they do scan at this end. Other than that, would I cancel your holiday at this point? No, I really don't think so. I can't see another lockdown. I can see maybe extra restrictions and extra levels. I can't see any lockdowns. The UK situation, not the best. Again, I can't see a lockdown there though, just again, extra restrictions. Potentially changes to travel. You might have to travel with a test now. But I wouldn't panic. You can still come here and have a great time, whether it's level 3 or level 4. You can still come here and have fun. You can do your excursions, your bars, your restaurants, etc. without any issues. That is going to be it from me for now. Please do drop your comments if I missed anything. or any of your opinions, drop them below. I'm no expert, I'm not a doctor, etc. I'm not claiming to be. These are just for information and conversation pieces, a bit of entertainment for you guys as well, to read through the comments. A lot of people enjoy this style of video, so do join in and comment below and have a little read through. It's good to see different opinions, different ideas as well. What do you think we should do to try and combat the rise in cases? Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Plenty of videos on there, plenty of these updates on the way, and plenty of videos coming up from our trip to Florida as well, which we've just got back from. It was quite interesting traveling over there. Actually felt very, very safe over there as well. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, and for now, stay positive, don't panic. I wouldn't cancel any trips. Look forward to your holiday. At some point, you've got to have a break. You've got to go for it. You've got to just get these things booked and hope they happen. It was the same with us. We booked Florida quite last minute, but you know, it could have changed, it could have cancelled. But if you don't book, you're never going to go anywhere. It's never going to happen. So if you are scared of booking, just make sure you book something that is at all protected and APTA protected as well. And that is it for me. Stay positive. I will see you live later today, and it'll be on catch up on the channel as well tomorrow. We're doing a big long walk through Los Cristianos, Las Americas, Adequi. We're going to go for an Indian meal as well, see how busy everything is, see what restrictions are taking effect. So do check out that video on the channel. Stride on, and see you soon.